Yo, what is going on guys, my name is Defender Machine, and today guys I'm just super proud and super happy to be bringing you the gameplay in the background, which is in fact a nuked out. I finally got this after the grinding in free-for-all that I've been anticipating my way throughout the whole XP weekend and all of Black Ops 3 up until this point. But anyways, this gameplay in the background today, in fact, shows a lot of how I like to play free-for-all, where I like to cycle the hater, the UAV. I don't really use the counter UAV because I forget I've unlocked it once I've unlocked it, because I've permanently unlocked the hater and I already have the UAV, so I really don't go on my score streaks or look at them. Besides that point of where I actually prestige, I just put the UAV on, the hater on, and I'm sorted throughout the whole prestige because I'm going for nuclears. But anyways, in this video I get a nuked out with a gold M8A7, and obviously in the starting clip before the actual video, before the actual intro, you guys will have seen me pick up the last 2 kills for the nuclear medal in free-for-all with the KN-44, and you're like, Machine, what are you doing? How the hell does that work if you're using the M8A7 throughout the whole game? Well, I don't actually use it throughout the whole game. I don't have Scavenger on, which is a stupid mistake because I believe I'm the rank in this game, or the rank in this gameplay should I say, to actually have unlocked Scavenger at this point, so I'm pretty lazy when it comes to changing my custom classes. I usually just make them at the start of the prestige and then just leave them, to be honest. But anyways, enough rambling about pointless stuff right now guys. I'm going to get onto the main topic for today, which is basically how to get better at Call of Duty Black Ops 3, because a lot of people will see the gameplay and they'll be like, well, can you tell us how to do good? Can you tell us how all these tips and tricks and everything? I've done videos expressing my tips and tricks to you guys, what I like to implement when I play Call of Duty Black Ops 3, but a lot of people might come to the channel from Carnage or something, or might just be new people in general, so in this video I'm going to tell you guys how to get better at Call of Duty Black Ops 3. Alright, so first of all guys, how I want to start this out is say Treyarch will be paying a ton of attention to this game this year because Black Ops 2 was very successful, and Black Ops 3, well, it's the most sold entertainment thing launch, or whatever you want to call it, of 2015, and I think that was in the first 2 days of release, so they're doing pretty well with the sales already, so they want to make the game even better. For people who are crying out saying, oh, this is overpowered, oh, this is underpowered, oh, change this in the game, oh, the spawns and everything like that, because you will see sometimes in this gameplay the spawns might be a little bit weird, and I know there's a spawn trap on some of the free-for-all maps, so there is obviously going to be problems, but there's a lot of things right in the game right now. But what I want to say first of all is they're paying attention to the guns, and they're paying attention to how to balance the guns, because a lot of people are saying, well, snipers are pretty pointless in this game now because there's no auto aim, but then you get other people saying that the LMGs are the most dominant things in the game because of the power that they portray on the enemies when you shoot people with a Gorgon. A 2-hit kill, really? That's overpowered. A 7-round burst or a 6-round burst LMG, really? And then you just get a lot of people saying, well, this is overpowered, this is underpowered, and it's clear to establish that in the game. But what I'm going to say, for overall improvement in the game, you don't really want to acknowledge any of them guns, because let's face it, the snipers, they're not exactly the best thing to go with a movement system for Black Ops 3, meanwhile, like the LMGs as well. So what I'd say in this game is focus on the assault rifles and the SMGs, and you really need to find the gun that you're comfortable with the most. Personally, I'm really comfortable with the M8A7. I've got a best class setup only on that gun on my channel, so you can see I pay a lot of focus and attention to that gun, not just in the gameplays, but that one best class setup video that I've got is aimed at that gun. And the only thing I really want to add to the first tip there guys is find the gun that you're comfortable with. Obviously you're going to have to experiment with a lot of the guns, if not all of the guns in that gun category, like all the assault rifles, all the SMGs, to actually make a valid judgment, not just of other people's opinions, but your actual personal feel for the gun when you're shooting it, the personal usage that you're actually doing with the gun, the kill streaks, the amount of kills you get with the gun, the amount of times you die with the gun. So obviously it takes a lot of time put into the game, but in the end the outcome will be even better for you personally by trusting your own judgment, because let's face it, everybody in Call of Duty, they do well differently to other people. Whether you want to sit at the back of the map with an LMG, which I don't really advise because you're not getting involved in too much action, and that doesn't really help the other factors that affect you getting better at the game, which is obviously like the map knowledge and everything else about playing the game, the flow of the map, the flow of the game mode, everything else to do with the players you're even against, whether you look at their rank and see, oh, I need to play slow against these, or I can rush these noobs, I can get my hater really quickly, I can go off in their spawn, I can maybe get that triple nuclear that everybody wants to see on YouTube, first and foremost because no one's got it on the full release version of the game, in a 6v6 game mode, in a 10-minute game mode yet. The next thing I'm going to say to you guys to get better at the game, which a lot of you may disagree with me with, or you won't want to do because it's not exactly something you're going to like or enjoy the most about playing the game, is play the maps that you're not the strongest on or you don't like as much, because when you actually play them maps, obviously if you don't enjoy them as much or you're not as good, you're not going to play it as well as a map that you've basically favorited in the game. Say for example Nuketown right here, because a lot of people basically target that map when it's double XP because it's a small map, map, a lot of people know the spawns in it, a lot of people are used to the flow of the map from other games, so a lot of people will want to play that map. But what I'm going to say to you guys is play the maps that not a lot of people really like playing, so then overall, if you play them more and more and more, you will overall get better at them maps, thus making you overall that little bit better at Call of Duty Black Ops 3 and overall that little bit more aware of what actually goes on all of the maps. The next thing I want to tell you guys is kind of added to the last statement I made by getting used to all the maps. You need to know what guns to use on all the maps really, because there's a lot of maps in the game that are kind of small, like Combine, Nuketown, which really you want to be rocking an SMG or assault rifle on, but them long range engagement maps like Redwood or something like that where it has a really long line of sight, you want to be using, like, I'd say anything to do with an assault rifle, LMG or sniper, depending on your personal preference to playstyle on them maps. But it's obviously not going to be a good choice to use a really fast fire rate SMG on a map like Redwood, because most of the engagements in gunfights are at long range, making it pointless to have loads of recoil and really hard to control, and the damage and overall range even weaker, so you're limiting yourself. And why would you want to handicap yourself in a game using assault rifle, LMG or sniper at those engagements? Come on. Now finally I want to talk about sensitivity and specialist, the two S's right there. Sensitivity, you don't really want it too high unless you go 619 and he plays in a 14 sensitivity. I used to, but I bumped it down by 3 back to 11, which I play it on all the Call of Duties with. But that's basically it. Find a sensitivity that you're comfortable on, you and only you as the player holding the controller. And if you need anything to aid you holding the controller to make it more comfortable, use Control Freaks and or a SCUF controller, because those little optimizations to your controller can highly benefit people who aren't generally comfortable with a controller at the standard version of one, whether it be Xbox One or PS4. But the final thing I want to say about specialists is don't use them as soon as you spawn in, because what's the point in that? When you first spawn, if you're getting spawn trapped, you activate it straight away, you're going to get killed off the spawn, so that's a waste. And then secondly, you're not really near anyone, so you're running out the time of your specialist being used or capable of being used to get loads of kills or help you get them kills or kill streaks. Just like Combat Focus I'm using in this gameplay, it'd be pointless, so make sure you use your specialist when you're near people, but before you get in those gunfight engagements. But anyways, that's all for today's video. That's all my personal easy tips, or just broken down tips on how to get better at Call of Duty Black Ops 3. I want to thank you all for watching the second video for today. Slap a like on the video if you enjoyed, to get it out there if you enjoyed, and a favourite if you loved it, and I'll see you guys in the video tomorrow or the next day, and peace out.